The quiet hum of the shuttle drifted through the chamber as Leon stepped forward, both hands wrapped around the small case he had carried across 2 star systems. The hall of the alien court stretched high above him, carved from living crystal that glowed with soft light. Guards stood on both sides, tall and graceful, their armor shaped like flowing metal. Every pair of eyes rested on him as he approached the throne. Leon moved with slow care, knowing that even one wrong step could be taken as disrespect. The Queen of the Serens stood at the far end, tall and silver-skinned, her presence calm but powerful. Her long crest caught the soft light and made her look as if she wore a crown of stars. The air around her felt warm, almost alive, as if the whole room breathed with her. Leon stopped at the base of the steps and bowed with his head low. Human tradition, not theirs, but it was a universal sign of respect that needed no translation. The guards tightened their hold on their staffs, waiting for her signal. The Queen lifted one hand, and the guards relaxed. Her voice held a soft, ringing tone as she spoke. "Human, you have traveled far to meet me. You said you bring a gift. Show it." Leon opened the case slowly. Inside lay a single object, simple in shape yet precious for what it stood for. It was a seed. Not just any seed, but the seed of the last starwood tree that once grew on Earth before the fires of the Great Collapse. Its soft glow shimmered faintly under the chamber lights. The Queen leaned forward. Her eyes widened, and for a moment the entire hall fell silent. Leon held the case steady in both hands, letting her see the seed from every angle. "This," he said, "is the last starwood seed. It belonged to a tree that lived longer than any nation on Earth. My people believed it held memory in its rings, and that it could survive almost any world. I brought it for you because your forests are dying. Your healers said you needed something strong, something old, something that can root in harsh soil." The Queen stood slowly. She stepped down the silver steps, her long robes brushing against the stone. When she reached Leon, she studied the seed for a long moment. The hall stayed utterly still. Then she spoke in a soft tone that carried across the whole chamber. "Must be the last human who knows this." Leon frowned slightly, unsure what she meant, but he kept silent and let her continue. "This seed was believed to be gone. My ancestors searched for it when Earth first formed alliances. Your people spoke of it as legend. How do you know of this memory? How do you know the lineage of its roots?" Leon breathed in and gathered his thoughts. He kept his voice calm. "My grandmother kept the story alive. She said our family protected the seed for generations. She used to say that if Earth ever lost its forests, the seed would remind us of what we once had. When the fires came and the oceans rose, we escaped with whatever we could save. This seed was one of the last things carried off the planet." He closed the case gently and held it out to the Queen. "We can grow one again. Not on Earth anymore, but maybe here." The Queen stared at the seed with an unreadable expression. Her hands hovered above it, as if afraid to touch something so delicate. Leon waited for her to accept it, his heart pounding like a quiet drum. When she finally took the case from him, she held it with both hands and raised her head. "You have offered something far beyond trade. This is not a gift. This is a bond. You understand what this means to my people. You understand what you give." Leon nodded. "I know, but I also know what it feels like to lose a world. I want to help keep this one alive." The hall stirred with quiet whispers. The Queen silenced them with a small gesture. She stepped back toward her throne, but did not sit. Instead, she turned and faced Leon again. "You must come with me. There is something you must see." The guards formed a path, and Leon followed her out of the hall. The corridor curved around the palace, passing windows that looked out over their vast forest. Much of it glowed with green and gold light, yet patches appeared gray and brittle, scars of a sickness that had spread for decades. The Seren healers had failed to stop it. Now the forest depended on a seed that came from a world long gone. They entered a small chamber at the far end of the palace. The door closed behind them with a soft hum. Only the Queen and Leon stood inside. The wall before them shimmered and opened like a curtain of light, revealing a hidden garden. The garden was silent. No birds flew. No wind moved through the leaves. The air felt heavy, as if everything in it waited for something. The Queen walked toward the center of the garden. Leon followed, noticing the faint traces of old roots buried under the soil. "This place," she said, "was once the heart of our world. A single tree stood here. It was ancient and bright. Its branches stretched across half the sky. It was said that if one listened closely, the tree could whisper the past." Leon looked around, trying to imagine such a massive form rising above. "The land, it died," the Queen continued. "The sickness began here. It spread to every forest. Our healers still do not understand why it fell. We could not save it. But perhaps your gift can restore what we lost." Leon looked at the seed again. He understood now why she had reacted the way she did. She was not just accepting a present. She was accepting hope. He spoke softly. "I brought soil from Earth. Old soil, clean and living. I brought tools and growth lamps. If you allow me, I will plant the seed myself." The Queen studied him once more. "You must be the last human who knows how to nurture such a seed. I believe this is why fate brought you here. But you must understand something. If the seed fails, our forests will not survive another season. If your knowledge dies with you, so does our last chance." Leon nodded. "I won't let it fail." The Queen stepped aside, giving him full room in the garden. Leon set the case down and knelt. He opened the small containers he had carried in his pack, each holding a piece of Earth's last living soil. He mixed it with the Seren soil, feeling its texture. The soil was dry, but not dead. It only needed something stronger to take root. Within it, he dug a small hollow with his bare hands and placed the seed inside. Its glow brightened for a moment. He covered it with soil and pressed his hands gently over it. A warmth traveled up his arms, almost like a soft heartbeat. The Queen stepped closer. "What did you feel?" "Life," Leon said. "It's responding." He set the growth lamp above the spot and adjusted its setting. The lamp glowed with warm gold light. Leon sat back on his heels and breathed out slowly. Now they waited. The Queen remained silent, watching the soil as if it held the answer to every question her people had carried for years. A small tremor passed through the ground. Leon leaned in. The soil shifted. A thin green shoot pushed upward, glowing brighter than the lamp. It grew slowly at first, then steadier, stronger, rising a full hand length in only a few breaths. The Queen gasped softly. Her eyes glowed with our EFLECTED light. "It lives," she whispered. "It truly lives." Leon felt relief spread through his whole chest. He had hoped for growth, but not this quickly. The seed was stronger than he had imagined. The Queen touched the new sprout gently, her fingers trembling. For a moment, Leon could see her not as a ruler, but as someone who had carried grief for far too long. "This will restore us," she said. "Your world may be gone, but its memory will grow here through this. Your ancestors tended this life. Now it will heal mine." They spent the next hours tending the young plant, adjusting the soil, checking the moisture, and making sure the light warmed it evenly. The sprout continued to grow, small leaves unfolding and glowing with soft white veins. Leon explained every step, Every method passed down in his family. The queen listened with full focus. You are certain no other human holds this knowledge? Leon nodded. My family kept it alive. But most humans scattered after the collapse. Many records were lost. I searched for years. I never found another who knew. The queen looked at him with a calm, steady gaze. Then you carry more than memory. You carry responsibility. If you wish, our healers will help you build a sanctuary for this tree. When it is strong enough, we will spread its seeds to every dying forest. Leon smiled. I would like that. She lifted her hand slightly. Then from this day, you are honored among the Saren. Leon bowed again. Thank you. I'm honored. They sat near the sprout, watching it grow inch by inch. Leon told her stories of Earth's old forests, how wind moved through branches like waves, and how trees lived for centuries. The queen listened with quiet wonder. When the light in the chamber dimmed to evening glow, she rose. There is something else, she said. A truth few know. Leon looked up, curious. When the ancient tree fell, our scholars found fragments of memory preserved in its core. They said it showed images of Earth, long before our people met yours. Some Saren believed our worlds were once connected through paths we no longer understand. Your seed arriving here may not be chance. It may be the return of something lost. Leon felt a soft chill run through him. If that is true, he said, then maybe our worlds were meant to help each other. The queen nodded. I believe. So, they stayed until night, watching the sprout glow gently in the dim garden. When Leon finally stood, he felt something shift inside him. Not fear, not worry. Something like peace. The queen spoke once more before he left. You came to give. A gift. But you gave us a future. Remember this. You are the last human who knows the ancient bond between our worlds. And now, through this tree, your people live again. Leon bowed one final time and walked out of the CH.